This is a guide on how to complete the Villain Star Path in Disney Dreamlight Valley. A few things to note before you start. For Vince, don't do anything you are limited to do daily, including daily discussions, favorite gifts, removing night thorns, or serving guests at Remy's unless you are asked to do so. Prioritize when asked to do these activities, and then focus on the easiest duties afterwards. Ursula and Mother Gothel discussions are future duties in this. Gifting Merlin is also a future duty. Following this advice, the first thing you want to do is talk to Merlin for a daily discussion. This will take a minimum of 2 days, but you might as well get the first day out of the way right away. The next thing I recommend doing is starting to harvest tomatoes. You'll need 100 of them. The Dazzle Beach Goofy stall sells the seeds for them. Each seed will produce 3 of them, which means you need 34 seeds, unless a yellow orb spawns, which you can click multiple times. I'd like to note that villagers and the red spawn explosions do not count towards this. You need to actually harvest the seeds themselves. The next thing I recommend to do is to remove the night thorns. You'll need to remove 30 of them. In order to remove the night thorns, you must progress the main story until you unlock the ability to do so. They'll spawn anywhere throughout the whole map. Only remove as many night thorns that you need to remove, because only so many night thorns will spawn per day. Next, I recommend picking blueberries. They'll naturally spawn in the Forest of Valor, but you can move those bushes anywhere. Every gather gives you 3, which means you need 17 gathers, unless the yellow orb spawns. The next thing I recommend to do is to give favorite gifts. Do not give them to Merlin because there's a quest later to do so. You can find a list of what each character wants in the Characters tab. I would recommend prioritizing produce, fruit, meals, and the flowers as they are the easiest. Stay away from gems because they are random. If you write them down in a notepad, you can save yourself some trips. The next thing I recommend to do is to mine 15 Peridots. There's a duty later for 60 minerals and 5 shiny Aquamarines, but this is easy to get out of the way and free up more duty slots. They are found in the Dazzle Beach and Peaceful Meadow areas. You can do a quick loop in about 4 to 5 minutes, and it takes about 6 minutes for them to respawn. Villagers and extra spawns and the red explosion spawns do not count. The next thing I recommend is to catch fish from Dazzle Beach. There is a herring quest later on, but this is an easy one to get out of the way. I would recommend to prioritize fishing in the circles because the open water gives seaweed. I did not test if the villagers' extra spawns count towards this, but I don't imagine they do since they don't for mining, harvesting, or gardening. You'll unlock a duty to earn 20,000 star coins. This is a very easy one to do, so you might as well get it out of the way right away. You can basically do anything in order to get this, but the easiest thing to do, and Reddit's favorite thing to do, is to farm pumpkins, because they sell for a lot. The next thing I recommend is Dreamlight Duties. If you look at the main tab, you'll have a list of which ones are available. You can easily focus on these and knock them out really quickly. You can double these with other event duties as well. The next thing you unlock is to collect 20 purple flowers. It's literally any flower that's colored purple. These are all over. Every single zone has them. If you run in a situation where there are no purple flowers anywhere on the map, collect other flowers which will force more flowers to spawn, which have a chance to be purple. The next thing I would do is to catch 30 herrings. You can find those in the Dazzle Beach and the Glade of Trust. They most commonly spawn from white circles, but can also spawn in open water, and I've had them spawn from blue circles as well, with a very low chance. Just run around the 2 different zones, fishing in every single circle, because the white circles will spawn the most often. I did not test, like the villagers, if the extra spawns counted towards this. The next thing you unlock is to have 2 daily discussions with Ursula. Just like Merlin, this is going to take 2 days, and I recommend doing the first day right away. The next duty you'll unlock is to harvest 50 bell peppers. You can find the seeds for the bell peppers in the Forest of Valor. Each seed will produce 1 bell pepper, which means you need 50 seeds unless you get a yellow orb spawn. The extras from villagers and the red spawn explosions do not count. Because cooking can be expensive and time consuming, I combined these for cook 20 meals with corn, sell 30 2-star meals, cook 25 3-star meals, and cook 20 meals. The corn is from Dazzle Beach. You can double these up with other duties and achievements. This is pretty easy to do to get 4 out of the way right away. I personally made 5-star meals with these because I had achievements to do so. The next thing I recommend is to sell 20 carp. Moana will fish these for you at her shack, and they are fairly common. If you want to fish them yourself, you can find them in the Forest of Valor in the white circles. The collections tab also says Sunlit Valley, but I have personally never found one there. The next one you unlock is a repeat. It's to earn 20,000 star coins. Just like before, you can basically do anything to get the star coins. I recommend the pumpkin farm. The next one to do is to cook meals with garlic. You can find garlic in the Forest of Valor. You can again double this with other duties and achievements to get more bang for your buck. The next one to start is to give favorite gifts to Merlin. He requires 6 of them, which will take a minimum of 2 days. If you go to the collections and then characters tab, you can see what Merlin wants. Again, write these down to save yourself from trips. The next 2 I recommend to do are to mine 5 shiny aquamarines and 60 minerals, gems in the collection tab. This is a pain. Prioritize shiny aquamarines. You can find those in the Dazzle beach and the Forest of Valor. You can do a loop in about 4 minutes, and it takes 5 to 6 minutes for them to respawn. The villagers, extras, and the red spawn explosions do not count. Any gems from any zone count for the 60 minerals, but I finished the 60 gems before the 5 shiny aquamarines. We're prioritizing the shiny aquamarines. The next one you unlock is the daily discussions with Mother Gothel. Just like Merlin and Ursula, this is going to take 2 days, and you might as well get the first day out of the way right away. The last duty you'll unlock is to serve customers in Chez Remy. If you upgrade Chez Remy, you'll unlock more tables, which will allow for more patrons to sit down. And if you unlock more characters, you'll have more patrons as well. Eating habits are based off of real life time, so while it is possible to complete this in day 1, it's very hard to do so, and I was unable to do so. That's all for day 1. I hope the guide was helpful. I will try to get day 2 out as soon as possible. Thanks.